it away, Elizabeth.
Good morning, St. Louis, and welcome to Give STL Day, May 8th, 2025. This is our how many have we done now? Many.
12.
12,
yep.
Our 12th Give STL Day, and we're so happy you're with us today. You know, this is one of my favorite days of the year. This is when the St. Louis Community Foundation focuses squarely on the nonprofits in our community and how we as a community can support them. Give STL Day really allows us to lean into our mission, which is to connect donors to community to build a more vibrant and equitable St. Louis region. So that's what we're doing today. Today is the day to give to our nonprofit organizations. I have a couple of phrases you'll hear me say over and over again, and since this is the top of the live stream day, I'll start with give early, give often. We have power hours throughout the day. We have many different organizations we're going to highlight on our live stream today, and it's just fun. It's just fun, and it is fun to give. So the way this works is you go to www.givestlday.org. You make your pledge for $10 to, I used to say to $10 million, but then I found out that we cap out at 100,000. So that kind of takes away 10 million to 10, or 10 to 10 million.
If someone would like to donate $10 million, please call us. We'll make it happen.
We will make that happen. If you want to give 10 million or 1 million or 250,000, we will make that happen.
I'll give you Elizabeth's direct number.
Absolutely.
I'll handle the rest of the stream.
Absolutely. You're now hearing from Chris Straub, who helps us with our live stream every year. We really appreciate Chris being here in St. Louis for Give STL Day with us. So, as we start this day, you're going to be hearing from, as I said, a bunch of different nonprofits throughout the day. So think about your giving this way. We all have those nonprofit organizations that we know and we love. So give to one you know. We also have those nonprofit organizations that we've heard about, but we don't really know what they do, and we're not really sure who they are and what they are. Think about giving to one that you want to get to know better. And then you're going to be introduced to nonprofit organizations that you don't know anything about, you've never heard of. Give to one you don't know. The other thing you do on our website, when you go to www.givestl.org, is you can search nonprofits. There's a place where you can put in filters. So if your thing is early childhood education or LGBTQ or the environment, you can put in the filters, the areas you're interested in, and take it from there to find one you love, one you want to love, and one you don't love yet, but you're going to. So anyway, with that, we are going to start today with a couple of organizations that I just love. So one of our tenets of our strategic plan here at the Community Foundation is collaboration. And so we're doing something a little new with Give STL Day live stream. We are talking to some organizations, some nonprofits that are collaborating very, very well together. And we want to highlight that collaboration. So these first two organizations, the Missouri Botanical Garden, particularly the EarthWays Center, and Great Rivers Greenways, are organizations that I think most of us in our community are familiar with. I will tell you, those who know me know that a few weeks ago I had some surgery on my foot. The day before my surgery, I spent walking the botanical gardens because I wanted to be in that beautiful space one last time before I couldn't do that for a while. And I know I've walked the trails from Great Rivers Greenway, and I hope you all have too. So we're going to hear from the EarthWays Center and Great Rivers Greenway. We've got Angelina O'Donnell here from EarthWays, and Usamane Gay from I was going to say the Brick Line. That's one of your projects. Yeah. From Great Rivers Greenway, to talk a little bit about the collaboration that the two organizations are working on together. So I'm going to throw it to you both.
Sure.
talk to us about this collaboration. What all are you guys doing?
Yeah, so I'll kick it off here. So I heard that you had mentioned environment. Yes, a very worthy cause to donate to. And both Missouri Botanical Garden and Great Rivers Greenway are actively working to ultimately improve our environment. So I think one of the coolest collaborations that we are actively working on is our Outdoor Youth Corps program. And to elaborate on what that is it is a paid workforce development program for youth ages 16 to ages 20, and it allows hands-on experience in the fields of horticulture, conservation, sustainability, and community engagement. So these are really excellent opportunities to expose young people to these careers, fields where we actually do need to fill a lot of positions in these career paths, and they're definitely making our world a better place. So anything you want to add to that? I kind of dumped a lot.
It's a fantastic program. It's been going on for the last couple years, and it really allows, like you mentioned, for folks to get that hands-on experience and kind of create a pathway for folks to better get involved. And the types of projects range. A lot of the times they're on Greenway locations, but then they're working to either clear invasive species, do plantings, learn about different conservation methods, and then because we already are very deeply involved in community, a lot of times that enables those folks to find pathways with other partners that we work with. I think there's some nonprofits that will be featured later today that we've worked with, and some of our outdoor leadership folks have ended up working for as well.
That's great. So how did this collaboration come to be? How did you guys meet up?
Yeah, I know I know partnerships take a lot of time, they take a lot of effort, and I think we were able to identify that Great Rivers Greenway really has some absolute experts in these fields, such as conservation, horticulture, sustainability, and we thought, well, I think this is a very wonderful organization to be able to work together with and able to get these youth inspired, get them activated to do some great things.
And what I love about this is I know part of your mission is to get people outside, right?
Yes, we love living outside.
Thank you. Say it again.
We love living outside.
We love living outside. So not only is it teaching that conservation, but doing it outside.
Yes, getting folks to understand that even though we may live in different parts of the region, that we do have that connection to our outdoors. The Mississippi is what made St. Louis what it is today, and so that connection to our environment is integral as we continue to grow and build as a region.
That's so fun.
Yeah, well said.
So collaborations come with much joy and things that work, and then they come sometimes with things that are a little stickier, a little harder to deal with. Can you talk about maybe one of those bumps in the road that you guys have gotten to the other side? This is mostly for the other nonprofits so that they can learn how to get past those bumps in the road in their collaborations.
No, I think one thing to highlight on is sometimes, occasionally funding can be an issue, and without the funds, we can only go so far within our programming. So I think what's really special, although a lot of our opportunities and programs are funded by grants, there's only so much. So the funds that we're able to raise for Give STL Day are able to make this impact even greater, even bigger. So I think sometimes a bump in the road is realistically, how can we make this happen with the money that we have? So it's really awesome that there are things, programs and events like Give STL Day that are calling out these very worthy businesses and nonprofits that are doing great things.
That's wonderful, thanks. How about on your side? And by the way, www.givestlday.org. Go for it. Yeah.
Well, I know there's a lot of engagement that has to happen when you're going in and you're building something in community. First and foremost, you want to make sure that folks want what you are wanting to offer in community. And so that process is not linear. You really have to move at the speed of trust, and those relationships need to be deep so that when there are bumps in the road, when there are breaks in funding, or when you realize that there might be parts of the community that say, hold up, wait a minute, we need a little bit more time to get our heads around this, that you understand that you're both very deeply committed to the work, and that allows you to take a step back, take a look at the full picture, and what is the plan going ahead. There's many greenways that are in plan right now, but obviously there's some things that need to shift as you recognize that this one piece that we were looking at may not be what the community wants, or there may be a better way to go through the community that connects them better to nature. And so all that type of engagement is very integral so that we are building buy-in from before the first brick is laid down. But yes, that sort of taking that step back is working with our donors, is working with our staff, and is working with our community to ensure that the end product is really something that people can be proud of, and is something that makes St. Louis a more vibrant place to live, work, and play.
We love that. And, you know, collaboration happens at the speed of trust. I actually have that on a little Post-it on my computer because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
And I love hearing how the two of you, these two organizations have come together to build that trust, to focus on our young people, and to focus on our environment. That's really wonderful. So thank you for talking about your collaboration. I'm going to spend a few minutes with each of you talking a little more about your organization. So Angeline, let me start with you. And
Sure.
Can you tell us a little more about the EarthWays Center? I think most of us, as I said at the top of this conversation, most of us know the Botanical Gardens.
Yes.
EarthWays Center, that's
Yes.
that education part, right? And
yes.
we don't know as much about that.
Right, so we are a division of the Missouri Botanical Garden, and believe it or not, we actually go out within the community with over 40 different programs that serve almost any kind of audience you could envision, whether it's students, higher level education, people trying to make their homes more green. We are able to serve them and provide sustainable solutions. So although we're doing excellent sustainable things at the garden, it's really important that we are working out in the community and letting everyone know that they can do something that's easy but makes a big impact on our environment.
I love that. It's bringing it home. It's how do we take some of these easy things that you said that have more impact than we give them credit for in our own homes.
Yeah, and we also have a Green Resources Information Service, so it's where you can submit any question you may have, whether it's a recycling question, you're trying to seek out the most energy efficient appliance, you're maybe wanting to get into native plants and rainscaping because you find that your house keeps flooding during a heavy rain episode. Well, that's where we can help give you answers, give you resources, and that is just something that you can email or call, greenresources@mobot.org, and it's a very wonderful service that a lot of people don't know about, but we do offer our expertise in the sustainability area, and maybe if you stump us, we will be able to connect with our other partners, people that we know have the best source of information.
That's wonderful. Who are some of those other partners that you might refer us to?
Yeah,
Although
so
we trust that you will have the answer.
yeah, so for example, we work a lot with MRC, Midwest Recycling Center. So a lot of our electronics actually from the garden are recycled through Midwest Recycling, electronics recycling. However, a lot of people are also looking for solutions to these things that don't necessarily, can't do much with them, but they definitely don't need to live in the landfill. Well, we can help, connect with MRC and be like, well, what about this type of item? Where do you have some recycling events coming up? So I think that's a good example of a partner that really helps us. Also with battery recycling, that's been a rising concern lately, and lots of questions around that.
Yeah, my husband's tired of my leaving dead batteries all over the place because I'm like, we have to recycle them, but I don't know where. So anyway, thank you so much. This is Angeline O'Donnell from the Missouri Botanical Gardens talking about the EarthWays Center.
Thank you.
So we really appreciate your being here. First up, 7 a.m. that's a lift. So
The first one's always tough. So
the first one's
thank you for
always
being
tough. Yeah.
Starting strong.
So Usmane.
Usman.
Yeah. I'm going to get it. Great Rivers Greenway.
Yeah.
You know, many of us have walked on or bicycled or run on your greenways throughout the St. Louis community. I mean, St. Charles, St. Louis County, St. Louis City.
Yeah, correct.
Tell us what's new. I mean, I think I know what's the biggest and happening these days, but
Well,
tell
there's
us
a lot
what's
going on, yeah. So for those of you that don't know, Great Rivers Greenway was started in 2000 by a vote of the people in St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and St. Charles County. So we're very thankful for our community for helping to create us. And our mission was really to create a network of greenways that would allow folks to be able to engage with the outdoors and make the region a more vibrant place to live, work, and play. We do work in St. Louis City, County, and St. Charles County to create a myriad of greenways. So if you've been to Grants Trail, if you've been to Cliff Cave Park, and actually recently reopened Chain of Rocks Bridge and the park around there, so it creates more accessibility for folks. But as you did mention, we do have a project that's going on here in the city of St. Louis that's a Brickline Greenway. That has been a project that has been long in the making with many community partners, and will connect many gems around our city that are already destinations for folks, but give them another way to access that. So when it's all complete, it'll actually connect from Arch Grounds down to Forest Park, and it'll connect also Tower Grove Park in the south to Fairgrounds Park up north. And along the way, there'll be many, many destinations that are already there for folks to be able to visit. It'll pass by Contemporary Art Museum on Spring Street. It'll pass down the Metrolink, so it gives greater accessibility to that access there. But then when folks are learning about the work that we're doing today, you're actually helping to support the foundation of Great Rivers Greenway. And so that organization has been around for 10 years. And we really realized as we were building out these greenways that we also needed a mechanism to ensure that, one, we sustain them so that folks continue time and time again to have that fantastic experience on the greenways, and two, to help find other ways to connect with community. And by proxy of that, I know that we're able to build out partnerships like Outdoor Leadership that kind of gives that next generation of folks interested in outdoor careers accessibility. But outside of that, the work that the foundation does is to really help enhance what's already there provided by Great Rivers Greenway. So when we know that communities want a water fountain, or they need another place to rest, or they need to upgrade their bike fixing station so that they can fix their bike when they're on the greenway, the foundation can step in and help provide those enhancements and betterments. So we're ensuring that over time, as our system continues to grow, those greenways stay top notch every mile of the way.
And they are beautiful.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. You did send in a video, so we're going to conclude our segment here. I'm sorry we're out of time, but we'll play that video, and we'll say thank you to you both. This is our first collaborative segment. Kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
No, it was a good time.
Great.
Something new.
We'll hear a little bit more here from Green Rivers Greenway, and then we'll be back in just a moment with Lafayette Prep Academy. I see them in the virtual green room. So, heck of a morning here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's grab Elizabeth's mic here real quick.
It'll make the interview go much better.
You're good. This is live streaming, Elizabeth.
This is live streaming. This is what it's all about. Well, good morning again, and welcome to Give STL Day's live stream for our second interview. Today, we've got Lafayette Prep Academy. We've got Dee Arms and Sarah Rainey, and we are so glad you're here to tell us a little bit more about your charter school. So,
Thank you so much for having us.
So please, Lafayette Preparatory Academy, tell us a little more about, every charter school has a little bit of a different feel to it, a little bit of a different mission to it. So we'd like to hear a little more about what you all are doing at Lafayette Prep.
Well, thanks so much for having us and thanks for asking. This is our 12th year as a school. We opened with just 74 kids in kindergarten through second grade, and now we serve about 415 kids in kindergarten through 8th grade. And our school is really about having a close-knit community, but in the middle of St. Louis City. We are a diverse by design school, so we have kids from all walks of life, all here learning together in a joyful environment. We think that setting our kids up for joyful learning means doing lots of fun activities and ensuring that they have things that they want to read and write about. So yesterday we took 842 people to the St. Louis Cardinals game and we won, which was amazing.
Yay. Chris
and
was
our
there.
Oh, great. Well, our third and eighth graders saying, take me out to the ball game during the 7th inning stretch. And so our teachers are just so incredibly dedicated to this idea that kids can be their best selves when they are known and valued for who they are. And so we work to do that here each and every day.
That is so great. And, whenever you start with joyful, you're going in a right direction. That's such a powerful word, right? Joyful. So that's wonderful. Now, this Give STL Day, what are you hoping for? What are you raising money for today?
Yeah, we're looking to raise money today for our very own teachers who are the backbone of who we are and what we do. And we learned that on average, each teacher spends about $500 of their own money on supplies for the school year. And that's what we're trying to bridge that gap this year. We're trying to raise $15,000, to cover the $500 that those teachers spend out of their pocket. This is really valuable because teachers are able to buy supplies to help kids navigate the world in their classrooms, and it gives back to our very own students and helping them grow and prosper into the best of who they can be.
Our teachers are, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that one of the things that's so incredible about our community is that 100% of our teachers are actually returning next school year. And so with your support, we want to keep seeing that happen year after year.
Absolutely. And the teachers are the unsung heroes, right? They're the ones that are in the classroom every day with the kids, really getting to know what each one of those children needs to be a joyful learner, right?
Absolutely. My son Thomas is an 8th grader here, so he's got 5 days of school left. He's been here for 9 years. And when I think about who he was when he started as a 5-year-old and who he is now leaving as a 6-foot-tall 14-year-old, and his kindergarten teacher is still here, his second grade teacher is still here. Most of his teachers are still here and still guiding him along that journey. And that is not an accident. That is carefully cultivated relationships over many, many years. And I see that not just with my own son, but with all of our students.
That's so fabulous. And, we don't think about all of those other things that the teachers do to make that classroom interesting. So, yes, it might be getting a broader array of markers, but it might also be the science teacher who's bringing in their own baking soda from home for to make the volcano or whatever it is that you do to make the volcano. So what are the kinds of things that you see your teachers purchasing?
Yeah, I think that our teachers are doing all of that for sure, but sometimes it's even just, let's celebrate a kid who had a big milestone and I'm going to bring in, pizza to honor that celebration. Sometimes it's kids who actually need a lot of extra assistance in order to have basic needs. So maybe it's supplying kids with their pencils and paper and We are a uniform school, so sometimes our teachers are helping out with that. It really ranges for what a teacher is going to do. But what I will say is consistent is that this is not just our teachers. I think teachers are special of heart, mind, and spirit, but they really do go above and beyond, which is why those receipts add up. It's why we're raising money specifically for this, and it's money that goes into a pot that they get to determine how to use it. And so it could be buying baking soda for a lab, it could be buying pizza to celebrate a kid.
Yeah.
The ask and expectations that it's all directly related to their classroom. And our teachers have been so grateful in the past when folks have sponsored this.
Well, that's wonderful. We are so glad that you were here to tell us about Lafayette Prep and to tell us about your incredible teachers. www.givestlday.org. Go online, give $10, give $100,000, and we will be right back with Even Chance Pitbull Rescue.
Thank you, guys. Great to see you. Back in 60.
Thank you.
What is this guy's name? I can tell that she is your daughter. There is a little resemblance.
Elizabeth, you know what time it is here?
Is it time to talk to a dog?
It is dog o'clock. And more importantly, it is Even Chance Pitbull Rescue.
Oh,
o'clock.
I love that. One of the most enjoyable things that we do during Give STL Day is we see a variety of rescue animals. And we're so excited to have Even Chance Pitbull Rescue here today. We have Heather and Jesse, and they are going to tell us a little bit.
Did you say there are people here?
Yeah, there are people. There are people also. You can see their feet. Anyway, so Heather and Jesse are with Even Chance Pitbull, and they are going to tell us a little bit about what they do, how they find their dogs, and all about this absolutely adorable Fig.
Yeah. So I'm Heather, and this is Fig literally pulling me across the room right now. So we're Even Chance Pitbull Rescue. We are a local pit bull rescue, as the name would suggest. So we do pit bulls. We do pits, pit mixes, any dog that's either accurately identified as a pit bull or inaccurately identified as a pit bull.
Yeah, they got pit bull in them somewhere.
It's something. So this is Fig that is with us today, and Fig is demanding a lot of attention this morning from everybody. So Fig actually has been with us since July, and Fig has had all kinds of medical issues that we've been addressing, but she is the gentlest and the giantest. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, wonderful. Now, how did Fig come to you? You've had her for a little bit, but how did you find Fig?
So we find our dogs in several different ways, but one of the main ways is we will go into shelters, open intake shelters that are literally overwhelmed with pit bulls. I would argue that we're at 85 to 90% pit bulls quite often in all of our shelters. And so we found Fig at our St. Louis County Animal Control, which was actually APA at the time. And she was not going to do well in the shelter system with everything that was going on with her skin. We have jammies to protect her delicate skin right now, but she was practically hairless, just covered in sores. And it's been a long road to care for her.
Yeah.
So how can giving to Even Chance Pit Bull Rescue today help FIG and all the other pits that you're taking good care of?
Yeah, so we are actually a rescue that receives no local, state, federal, any kind of funding. We are supported by donations. So any of the efforts that we have to save pit bulls comes from donors. We wouldn't exist if it weren't for donations. Fig is moving the table.
And today,
Fig's moving the table because I have decided I want to pet Fig.
today, Give STL Day is actually our largest fundraising day. Like our entire year of operations, often we work to survive off of how we do on Give STL Day, which is really cool because this is a local fundraising event, and I don't know, we have a lot of love locally. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been in existence for over a decade. We've been a part of Give STL Day for, this is maybe our 7th, 8th year, something like that.
Great.
But at this point, Give STL Day is a primary source of sustainability for us. Like, if it were not for what happens for us on Give STL Day, I don't know what things would look like. We won't talk about that.
We're not going to talk about that.
And like, we need a reason to be, right?
Yes.
Right. So what that means is that you need to go to www.givestlday.org, and if you didn't know anything about Even Chance Pit Bull Rescue before, make them, when you want to know, and when you didn't know. That can be Even Chance Pit Bull, because as you heard, Give STL Day is so important to them for their sustainability, and this little organization doing such good work for these beautiful animals. We love our dogs, right? Anyway, thank you so very much, Heather and Jesse. We are glad you were with us, and we're glad you brought Fig. And in the background, you guys haven't met, but we have Ava, who is helping out with Fig today. Where is she?
Ava!
We almost got over to her, but anyway.
There she is.
There she is. So thank you. Live stream, guys, you never know what's going to happen. So www.givestlday, give $10 or $100,000, which would be a huge thing for Even Chance Pit Bulls.
Yeah.
So
We can help a lot of pit bulls.
that would double your budget, right?
Right.
Go for it. Somebody be
Quadruple
that
it, yeah.
person.
Yes.
Somebody be that person that helps to double or quadruple this wonderful organization.
Thank you so much, guys.
All the
Really
thank
appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, so next up we have Colleen. Oh,
We will have Colleen. We'll have Colleen in 60 seconds.
okay. Hi there, we are back now with Colleen O'Neill from Joy Petalers. I have to say, this was one I didn't know. I think I'd heard the name, but I didn't really know Joy Petalers. So I had a little bit of fun hopping on your website and looking at your Give STL Day profile. This little organization, I'm going to let Colleen talk to you about it, but they do something really great. They make sure beautiful flowers don't go to waste, but go to people who might need a little sunshine in their life. So Colleen, please tell us about Joy Petalers.
Well, thank you for having us. We are thrilled to be here today because we, as you had said, are a very small organization. We just started in October of last year. And what we do is we call it upcycling, and we take flowers that would otherwise be taken, maybe thrown away after a wedding. It could be an event. It could be even a retailer that, just that they're past their shelf life. And we take them and make them into smaller bouquets and then deliver them out in the community.
That is so cool. So you take them out to community. Tell us what that means.
Sure.
Where are these flowers going?
Sure. So we have about 35 to 40 facilities that we are giving flowers to. And a lot of them could be senior facilities, that memory care, assisted living. We also do other nonprofits. So St. Patrick's Center, we bring down to them. We've done an event with Lydia's House. So those types of organizations, and even veterans. So anyone who could need a little bit of joy, because our lives are so frantic and stressed right now, and that's kind of our mission.
That is so great. And I don't know about you, but for me, having flowers in my home, having flowers in my space just makes me feel good. So.
Well, and there's a reason for that. I mean, there's a lot of research behind it. And I mean, Rutgers, Harvard, they've all done a lot of research on this. And the interesting thing is that flowers invoke happiness almost immediately across all ages. So that's why you feel that kind of rush, that endorphin rush when you see flowers. And from a cognitive standpoint too, they increase our memory and they decrease anxiety and stress. So there are some mental benefits behind what we're doing.
That's so fun. So Colleen, tell us today, give STL Day, your $10 or $100,000, whatever people are donating to Joy Petalers. What will you use your funds for?
So right now, we are at max capacity for space. We have done over 4,500 bouquets since we started. And every vase, we get them donated, yes, but a lot of them we have to actually purchase. So as we are 100% volunteer run based, none of us take a salary, every single dollar goes right back in. So if we could get some bigger space, we could even spread more joy in the St. Louis community.
That is so cool. I love that. And I love it that Chris is panning the room here at the St. Louis Community Foundation to some of you out there are getting to see a little bit of the background of what we do. But Colleen, when you think about next steps for your organization, what's coming next? If you had that $100,000 gift today, what would that mean for?
Well, for us, I think it would mean space. I think we'd be able to actually reach more individuals that are really suffering and in need. And we could take, right now we are concentrated in small pockets in downtown and, Midtown and even out to O'Fallon, but really expanding that reach for us. And there's a lot of things we need internally that we need help with for, operations as well as marketing, et cetera. So I think those things we'd be really able to take it to the next step.
That's so great. And you're volunteer based. So
Yes.
if someone wanted to volunteer with Joy Petalers, how would they get involved?
So it would be very easy. We have a website, which is www.joypetalers, and it's PET, play on words, .org, and there is a volunteer section, and people can actually sign up and sign a waiver, and then we'll be in touch with them as well. And even if people wanted to donate wedding flowers or event flowers, there's actually a way that you can go under Give and submit that as well.
And is there you need a certain amount before you'll go and pick up flowers or?
Listen, one bucket, I picked up one bucket yesterday from a florist, and then I picked up 2 buckets again. So really, it's any type of donation like that we really look at closely, because the need is, as I said, so great.
That is fabulous. So in our last minute, what is the last thing you want people to know and share with us, with others about Joy Petalers?
Well, I think we're already making such a huge difference in St. Louis, and I feel very passionate about this organization, and I think even our volunteers have become like family, and there's something kinetic about flowers and about the making of the flowers and about how it's created with such love, and I think that love is being spread. And hopefully all of our donors out there will get behind a small nonprofit who's really making a big, big difference in St. Louis.
Thank you so much, Colleen. I love this. I love the beauty. I love the research behind the beauty that you shared. And, one one you want to know, and one you didn't know before. That can be Joy Petalers. www.givestlday.org, and we will be back in just about a minute.
Elizabeth.
I know with the rain.
We are back. Which mic is mine here? There you go. We are back. This is Give STL Day 2025. I feel like it was just 2024, Elizabeth.
I know. I mean, we were downtown just yesterday, wasn't it, Chris?
Yeah, but it is, I would say it's a gorgeous day. It's a gorgeous day to give. It's a little rainy this morning. That'll clear up. There's so much fun stuff going on today. We'll have KSDK is coming down to the office here in a little bit, so we'll have a live shot on the air. And we'll also have a mixer later on tonight. So there's a lot of really fun stuff happening here today, but I'm going to throw it back to you, Elizabeth, to keep our interview train going this morning.
Well, and thank you so much, Chris, for being here to help us with this live stream. And thank you so much to Kevin Amstutz from UCP Heartland. This is one of our larger organizations that does such good work with people with disabilities and other. Take it away. Tell us more about UCP. I always want to say UPS.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
UCP has been around for 71 years, and we support people with differing abilities. We do that in 8 different programs, and really, our mission and our focus at UCP Heartland is to reach their full potential. We do autism, we help a lot of children, so reaching their potential, and then also getting them ready for school. And then also for our adults that we serve, we want to help them live independently. Let them, be able to make their own choices, see what they want to do, and be able to have the life that they want. We've been around St. Louis for 71 years and been a part of Give STL Day for a while now. We're glad to be here.
Yeah, and we are so glad that you're here telling us about the good work that you're doing. One of the things that we haven't talked about much this morning, but I think is on the mind of so many of us in the nonprofit world, is the federal cuts that we are reading about every day, it seems. And I know you depend a little bit on Medicaid dollars, right?
Absolutely. That's been a big challenge actually for us this year, not only to UCP, but mostly to our clients. That really directly affects them, being able to do our services, come to our community services program, and be able to do all these and be out in the community. And not just to mention transportation, just getting people to and from. That's already a difficult thing as itself. Someone that has a disability, that might take a little longer than someone that might not. So that plays a huge crucial role in our organization. And right now we're advocating a marketing campaign for the Medicaid, and we really want to see hopefully some bill passes and help our clients get the services that they really, really, truly deserve. So yeah.
Well, so as you're thinking about raising funds through Give STL Day, what will those funds be going to this year?
So a lot of it will actually be going to our community services program for our community outings. So we like to do a lot of different things. Go to Busch Stadium, go to the zoo, go to the mall and hang out, and just be out in the community with everyone. So our goal this year is $5,000, and that $5,000 will really go to helping them out to go in the community. As everyone knows, nothing's free. Maybe the zoo is, but there's a lot of things that need to be paid for, and you know, it's not just one or two people. We usually have a big group going with us, so those funds will help be able to do that.
That's great.
Yeah.
And $5,000 is very, very doable, folks. I mean, you can get out there. One of you could take care of that right now if you
Absolutely.
wanted to. Or many of you can give $10 or $25. It doesn't have to be a big gift. We're very happy with small gifts. And building that relationship with a great organization like UCP Heartland. So, where's your favorite place to take your kids or your adults?
A zoo is always a good one.
Yeah.
The Magic House is always a go-to too. I saw they were doing a festival here in the coming months or something, so excited to go see that. But yeah, so and gymnastics.
And gymnastics.
Yeah, our little one is in gymnastics right now, so that's been quite a show, I should say.
Oh, that's so fun. That is so fun. Well, as we close out our time together, one quick thing that you want everyone to remember about UCP Heartland and why you should give today.
Yeah, I think one big thing is for UCP and our clients, every day is something to look forward to, something to help them engage, reach their full potential, and being able to make that $10, $5, $25, $5,000 donation, that makes a huge difference in being able to be out in the community, to make new friends, to being able and have that social life that everyone loves to have. So that makes a huge difference, and Give STL Day St. Louis has been huge for us at UCP, so show up today, and thank you guys for all your support throughout the day.
Well, thank you very, very
Thank you
much,
so much.
Kevin. So www.givestlday.org. It's still early, so I can still say give early, give often. Thank you, too.
Thank you.
And have a great day today.
We'll be back.
Okay. Hi there. And we are back here at the St. Louis Community Foundation in beautiful Oak Knoll Park in Clayton. And so glad that you're with us on the live stream today. Our the first hour of live stream is the St. Louis Arts Chamber of Commerce. And I've had the joy of talking with Sandy Brooks. I think we met on a Zoom. The founder and the president of the Arts Chamber of Commerce. And Sandy is doing such great stuff and now has the cavalry coming in to support. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the St. Louis Chamber of Commerce, I can say this, and what you do and the important role you play in our community.
Well, thank you and good morning, everyone, especially for the early birds that are up. The St. Louis Arts Chamber of Commerce started out to help artists build their businesses. But we morphed very quickly into a program that provides funding and structure for artists to do community artwork. But even that morphed very quickly into community development through an artistic lens. Basically, it's called creative placemaking. And what we do is work with residents and communities to address their needs, which might be crime or violence or vacancy, health, environment, employment, education, or culture, to build that community in what that community needs. So, for example, we worked with Dutchtown and are renovating their entire Marquette Park, which is underwater 3 months out of the year because of the flooding. Well, you can't very well have art festivals or put in sculpture if it's underwater. Yeah. So we've pulled together the sewer district and the Department of Conservation and the city and residents to address the flooding so that we can put in trees and connect the sewers, which in turn improves the air quality in an area that's very high with asthma rates. So more people can get out and get the exercise. It's one of the most diverse communities in the city. It has 6 different cultures that can be all expressed in a trail kind of situation, in between the trees, putting in the sculpture and having events and those sorts of things. So it's building community through the arts by way of the sewer district and the city and the environment and all of those things.
Well, and I don't know about for you all out there, certainly for the two of you. For me, you know, arts, we just had the flower people here, Joy Petalers, right? The beauty of visual arts, but also the fun and engaging experience of the performing arts and all the different ways that we bring art into our lives and we build community around it. That's really, really cool. So thank you for that. So Sandy, tell us about your new employees.
I have my very first employee. Thank you, Vista. Jane is our assistant director, but also our development coordinator, and she is the one that has put all of the Give STL Day project together.
Wonderful. Okay, Jane, tell us, what are you raising money for today?
So, well, we're actually going to have a couple of our projects as options on our donation form, and one of them is the work in Marquette Park. But as you said, we also believe in the power of the arts to get people involved in the culture, to better understand culture. And so the other option on our donation form is a sculpture of someone named Archer Alexander. And Archer Alexander was a slave, and he overheard the Confederates talking about blowing up a bridge and went and told the Home Guard and got found out that he told the Home Guard. So he had to escape from slavery through the Underground Railroad. He took 16 other people with him, and actually in 1863 was emancipated because of his actions. And he is buried in an unmarked grave in St. Peter's UCC Cemetery. So local sculptor Abraham Muller has designed a memorial for Archer Alexander. And that's another option on our donations today. But we also have, you know, people can give and we can use the money where it's most needed because we have a lot of different projects going on through the city.
We love general operating support. General operating support allows the organization to determine what the best need is. So, St. Louis Arts Chamber of Commerce, www.givestlday.org, you will find those projects listed. And isn't it kind of fun that you've got multiple things you can choose that what you want to do, what you as the donor want to do, and then what you as an organization are looking to build out. We just have a couple minutes left, so why don't you share with our community one last thing that you want people to know about the St. Louis Art Chamber of Commerce?
Well, this is one of those things that I started when I retired. And I thought, well, maybe there'll be a community or two we could help. Wouldn't that be great? We have 22 groups of communities we are trying to help at this point on both sides of the river. From Baden to Dutchtown, from Wentzville all the way over to Troy. And the need is huge. If you want to create community, create the culture. If you want to destroy a community, destroy the culture. And what we're trying to do is recreate that community. Our board has stepped up. We are doing matching giving. So every dollar will be doubled and will count.
Love that. We love the matching gift. So www.givestlday.org. Give early, give often, give to one you know, give to one you want to know, and give to one you didn't know about before but you want to get to know now. That could be St. Louis Arts Chamber of Commerce. Okay, everyone, I'm going to sign off. I'll be back a little later this afternoon, and enjoy, and give early, give often.
Elizabeth, thank you so much for your great work. It's a pleasure working with you every year. And we're not quite done with you yet. We will see you back at noon.
Yep.
Coming up in our 8 a.m. hour in just a moment. I'm going to wrap things up here. But don't go anywhere. Hit refresh on your Facebook page or YouTube or your website. We'll see you in just a moment. This is Give STL Day 2025 live.
Awesome. Thank you.
What did you do?